Rada, rada. So, as we can see, whereas our simple active masculine singular participle required the O class vowel in root radical 1 and the E class vowel in root radical 2, rada carries the A class vowel in root radical 1 and the A class vowel in root radical 2, which would signal to the listener that this would be the simple active or the call stem, third masculine singular suffix conjugation preterite. Rada, rada, as opposed to rode. So rada means he wanted. Rode is the call masculine singular active participle. Rode, rode. Now I could have utilized madre lectiones here to make it clear, but we wanted to demonstrate that we could augment the thematic vowel scope to impact semantics. So whereas rada would be a third masculine singular suffix conjugation preterite, meaning he wanted, rode would be applicable to a masculine singular entity. So the subject would be required to be masculine and singular because ancient Hebrew requires subject-verb agreement. So, rode ata lehu moshach, rode ata lehi moshach. So, again, I think it's notable to point out that according to the ancient Hebrew handbook, ancient Hebrew was void of vowels. Right? However, I think it's notable that we point out that within their text, they've made some noticeable inclusions of matres lectiones. Now, matres lectiones, if we could just oversimplify, would be a system whereby select graphemes will be appropriated to represent certain classes of vowels. Right? So let's see here. Let's just find a couple of examples. All right. So let's find us. So we have here, of course, an internal vowel, U-class vowel, our shorish, okay, would be shin lamed mem. So what would be the purpose of this vowel? All right, so here within their system, they've relegated it to a consonant. So shalom, as opposed to utilizing it as matre lectiones. All right, so in ancient Hebrew, we would be expecting something along the lines of ma, shlom, ma, shlom. So a vowel reduction here consistent with this being in construct form. So ma, shlom, condition, well-being of. All right, and here we have, so again, we would be utilizing this vowel as matre lectiones to indicate the presence of the internal U-class vowel, mashlum, mashalum. And here we have this hey, so shapach, right, would be our triconsonantal root or our shorish, shapach. All right, here's our performative prefix. All right, and here this hey is our matre lectiones to indicate the presence of the syllable ultima A-class vowel, final A-class syllable. All right, so mishpecha. All right, so this hey is not a consonantal hey, but it is there to indicate that this final syllable is carrying an A-class vowel, mishpacha. Alright, so here the waw is madre lectiones, and here the hey is madre lectiones. And then we had, we're going to try to go ahead and find do you want to be anointed? Here, see if we can find it quickly. All right. So do you want to get anointed? So we have ata, our masculine singular subject pronoun, and then we have rose, but of course they vocalize it as rata, ratazah. So wrong consonant. This should be the hey, because it's D1. So it should be rezadi hey. All right. So again, this is incorrect. This particular method of articulating this grapheme. So we would probably be inclined to say ata rode. All right, now what they have here is some type of adjectival form, almost like a noun. It's like, do you want a Moshiach, right? So here, this yod is our internal I-class vowel, meaning that this shin is carrying the I-class vowel, Moshiach, with the further prata here, with the chet, Moshiach. All right, so here I believe they have this ya as a consonant and not matre lectiones. So again, within their scope, their methodology, they don't have any vowel employment beyond that of the A-class vowel, meaning that when there's evidence of matres lectiones being employed, they have taken the matre and made them consonants or consonantal values. All right. So again, the transliteration of Moshiach here is Mashayach. However, this is problematic because this yod, all right, is not there as a consonant, but it is there to indicate the presence of the internal I-class vowel, Moshiach. All right. So again, if we were to revisit, how are we proposing that ancient Hebrew possessed vowel diversity or vowels beyond that of the A-class vowel? We are utilizing the existence of a cognate language attested as early as the 14th century BCE, okay? Whereas ancient Hebrew is attested as early as the 10th century BCE. So we're not saying they're the same exact language. That's not what this is about. This is saying that we can utilize comparable features, all right, to help us to understand the behavior patterns, all right, and the attributes of that language. All right, so we have Sha'u iluma ra'ashatehum. Sha'u iluma ra'ashatehum. All right, so we have our U class glottal stop, or U aleph. We have our I aleph, so Sha'u. All right, iluma, so U class, I class, ra'ashatehum. And we have our A class aleph. So U class aleph, I class aleph, A class aleph. All right, and this language is older than this language. Yet they do share comparable morphological, phonological, syntactic, and lexical features, while not being the same language. All right. Sha'u iluma ra'ashatehum. So command form G stem, responsible for the simple active aspect of the verb's performance, sha'u. from nun shin el. So lift, okay, oh you gods or you gods, so you or gods, all right, as the nominative form. So a nominative masculine plural or gender inclusive plural. Iluma. So you lift, who lift, you gods lift. And what are you going to lift? Rashatuhum. So this is our plural oblique form. And here we have our second masculine or gender inclusive plural pronominal possessive suffix. Okay. Rashatuhum. Sha'u. U, I, a. All right. And we have here in the Hebrew Handbook evidence that they have preserved matre selectiones, a system whereby select graphemes are appropriate to indicate certain classes of vowels. So here, this is not a consonant. Okay, mashach is our triconsonantal root, and if there's only a class vowels, we don't need the ya. So this is actually matre lectiones to indicate the I class internal vowel. And here, when we looked at this statement, how is the family? Ma shalawama, or ma shalawam, ma shapacha. All right, and of course we're going to have to kind of work on this. Okay, how is the family? But in any case, ma, and we have evidence of the internal U class vowel because they preserved it with their writing, and so this is matre lectiones, so it should be mashlum. And if they're going to say hi is the family, so mashlum chamishpacha. What is the condition of the family? And if we want to say your family, mashlum mishpachatecha. In any case, we see evidence of the preservation of the U class vowel as indicated by this wow. When the triconsonantal root is shin lamed mem, so we don't need this if it's all A class vowels. And here we have matre. Okay, the he is matre lectiones to indicate the presence of the final A class syllable or A class vowel in the final syllable. All right. And if it's only A class vowels, then why do we need this hey? Why do we need this wow? All right. So, things to consider. And this information can be found in the Ancient Hebrew Handbook. So we will continue our exploration of problematic features. Lashawana HaQadasha methodology, specifically morphology, phonology, and in some cases syntax.